48. 48. That's the number of the percentage of bust rate in the top. I think we have 29 players listed on this screenshot. I didn't go through the 40. We just went through the top. I think I have roughly 29 players are actually listed on this screenshot. 29, 48% of them are busts. The green highlighted individuals obviously are not. The players I didn't even highlight are players you could argue have had bust moments but have rebounded and had kind of a mixed bag. Don't want to say that they've busted, but don't want to say that they've exploded. They've disappointed at some point. Which one of these players, we're going to go through one after the other in the top 30 overall players from 2025 August ADP. That's what this is. Or September 1 ADP. Which players that are highlighted red are going to flip into at least not being red, kind of like, Justin Jefferson's not exactly a home run, but he's not a bust. A.J. Brown's been a big bust, but has since been great, so he's not a bust right now. Which players can flip into a non-highlighted red scenario that's currently highlighted red, and can any of these guys flip into a green moving forward? The Fantasy Football Show. Biggest injury season we've ever seen. Biggest bust season we've ever seen begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Don't forget, we reported this earlier. Go watch this video if you need more information on this. But JD5, Bucky, Godwin, all not expected to play Week 8. And I will go through some of the news today, but almost the entire NFL is limited or resting today for a maintenance day. So there's not much sense in going through all of the news today. We'll go through some of it real quickly, but everyone and their mother's listed as limited, and just there's nothing to make of it unless they've been ruled out, like JD5, Bucky, Godwin. Then pretty much we're in a hold mode until tomorrow before we really find out any information. As far as this situation here, the bust environment, most injured, as the title says, most injured fantasy football season maybe ever. Some of this is injury related, some of it is just poor performance. Some of it's related to an injury, like the Burrow injury affecting T. Higgins and Chase Brown, et cetera, et cetera. But let's take a look at the top 29 overall players from the August, late August and early September ADP data. We don't need to go over the guys doing well. Jamar Chase, obviously playing fantastic ball. Bijan's unbelievable. That's the consensus number one from this channel. CeeDee Lamb, obviously being injured, puts him in a non-green territory. There's no way we can just highlight him green and say, well, he got hurt. He got hurt. That's a negative. Just like when we get to Malik Neighbors, just because Malik Neighbors got injured doesn't mean he's not a bust. He's busted on anybody that spent a 9 overall pick on him. Saquon, busted. Doesn't matter what the reason is. They don't run him. He looks fun. Doesn't matter. Malik Neighbors did it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. If they're not here for us, they're not here for us. Genty. Oh, but Bauer. It doesn't matter. Genty's busted. Derrick Henry's busted. Drake London can't be highlighted green because he has these sporadic games in his quarterback. And this offense, the play calling is sporadic. But starting with the first highlighted red player, because we're not going to go through the green players. We might go through the players that have no designation like JJ, Nico, just to kind of reference whether we think things will go toward the green or go toward the red. But there's no sense in saying, oh, amazing, green. Everybody doing green's doing great. Let's talk about the players that can flip. Now, CeeDee Lamb, first non-highlighted player without a designation, coming back from injury, played very well. He's on his way to being a highlighted green player. 100%. 100%. Justin Jefferson, I think he's more highlighted green than red, but I don't know that we can sit here and say, oh, this is going to be such a glorious and consistent finish to his 2025 season when there's a potential that maybe J.J. McCarthy gets back into the lineup, and we don't know if McCarthy's good for J.J. We know that Wentz is okay for J.J., but J.J.'s very limited in his current situation. So I would say he has the most likelihood to flip into a full solid green, but that's because he's so amazing. But he needs consistent quarterback play, and he needs some good designed, consistent target share, which we may or may not see. But I think he has a very good possibility of being one of the better go-get players, because not highlighted green means he's not blowing up, means that people will potentially sell him. Okay, so that's the first player that feels like he could flip green. As far as Saquon being the first highlighted red player, biggest bust maybe of the top 5 overall. Well, definitely the biggest bust of the top 5, because this is ADP data and there's no bust yet until Saquon Barkley. So as of this moment, Saquon Barkley is the biggest bust in fantasy football 2025. Something that we predicted on this channel. Not saying we predict everything on this channel. There's a lot of things that we miss. Christian McCaffrey so far has been absolute world star. Doesn't mean I don't trade him. Doesn't mean that what I've predicted to happen with Christian McCaffrey doesn't end up happening. But right now he's balling out. Saquon was one of the biggest avoids on this channel, coming off a 430 carry season, 480 total touches. He was destined to fail on the expectations of what he was able to deliver last year compared to this year, compared to this cost of entry. This was the biggest whiff in fantasy football 2025. Do I think he could turn things around? I think he can get better. I don't know that this team's blocking well enough to say that he's going to flip it into a green. I don't think that's possible. I think that could he get from a red designation of total bust, which he is, to a non-designated in-betweener of a no highlight whatsoever. I think he could. I think it's possible. Here's the caveat. I feel like, yeah, Nico, you could say is borderline red. I mean, especially being injured now after some inconsistency in his quarterback play. He certainly could be. If someone wants to say he's a red, that's fine. I don't call a first-round pick a league winner, says D-Town. I mean, they can be. I mean, they certainly can be. It's just, look, we're still, even when we talk about in regards to like Jamar Chase right now being a green highlighted player, is he maybe susceptible to flipping into a non-green highlighted player, not bust, but no longer absolute savage? Yeah, if his quarterback goes down, if Joe Flacco goes down, Jamar Chase returns to a non-green highlighted category. 100% there too. Like that's a risky proposition. Bijan probably stays this way all year. Gibbs stays this way all year. McCaffrey will, as long as he stays healthy, stay in this green for sure. But that's the question. Does McCaffrey break down? Does Nico Collins have his quarterback play consistently? Does Nico continue to struggle with injury? Because he always does. There's always something with Nico. So Nico being 8.6 overall is a risk. You could say that he's borderline highlighted red at this point. Nico Collins being injured yet again. Concussion, blame it on whatever. Oh, bad luck. Doesn't matter. Nico's always getting hurt. Saquon Barkley, I would say not very big of a shot of turning things around anywhere near where the expectation level was. So that no matter what, he can't be highlighted green. Because his draft value was expecting domination. And as predicted, he did not. Malik Neighbors, no chance of flipping that. He's out. But he busted on you. I love when someone says, Neighbors didn't bust. Neighbors busted. Stop with your nonsense. He busted. He got injured. He's not here for you. You spent a number 9 overall pick, and he's not here for you. That is the definition of a pick not working out. Puka Nacua banged up now, but still a dominant player, obviously. And if he continues to struggle with injury, is this the one player that shockingly, like Neighbors, goes from amazing to boom, busting on you? Is Puka the most likely, Christian McCaffrey and Puka, the most likely injury-prone riddle people in this top 10, 15, 20 overall? Yeah, probably. Doesn't mean they can't dominate every step of the way and escape injury. Sure, that's certainly possible. But Puka Nacua has now been in the locker room 3 times out of 6 games that he's played. That's crazy when you think about it. Bloodied and battered, goes to the locker room. He's consistently getting hurt. 3 games out of 6, Puka Nacua has gotten injured and needed medical attention, a tent, a locker room, bandages. And so I love him. I love Nico. Puka. Who doesn't love Puka? He's an absolute savage. But part of his, I need to go horizontal on every play and smack my body against the ground over and over and over, causes injury risk. He's certainly the most capable, him and McCaffrey, of flipping from green to red just because of the injury concerns. But do you trade them? Depends on if somebody offers you the world. That is kind of the hardline stance that this show's never wavered from, even though people like to actually tell you a different story about how we feel and view this. I would probably say that Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's also got some injury risk that he has not yet shaken free from. That he plays with aggression. He plays with ripped off muscles off the bone. But you can't play those injury games at every turn. He's playing and balling out. I think he probably stays green. I said we weren't going to go through the green guys, but I guess we're just going to flip through everything and just say what's the most likely thing to happen. Achane Genty, could he go from red highlighted bust to green highlighted monster? Probably not as likely as just getting into the in-between stage where he's not a bust. You're not highlighting him red. He's not a green league-winning monster, but because he'll be inconsistent. I think he'll play like a green highlighted monster and play like a red highlighted bust throughout the season, not because of his doing, but because the coaching staff, the quarterback, the system, the blocking, the play calling, everything, Pete Carroll, everything's going to make Genty flop back and forth between highlighted red bust and highlighted green monster. That is just the way he's going to play the rest of the season. Feels a little bit like Drake London, who we'll get to in a second, and might as well just cover it now. Drake London's not highlighted green because he lives in a world where, like Genty, he will flip-flop between green highlighted monster, top 5 wide receiver, Genty, top 5 running back, red highlighted, completely unused, misused, not thrown to, quarterback dilemmas, bad play calling, bad game script. Drake London, Genty are one and the same. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Great player, not great player, great game, not great game. It's going to happen. And it doesn't have to do with their individual talent. They're both absolute monsters, but they live in bad environments. And I hate to say that about Atlanta. Atlanta can be very good. And Atlanta will probably be very good this week against the Miami Dolphins. That's going to be a nice little bounce back outing for this team. So that's something to consider. Do I believe? And let me just pull up. Let me pull up the schedule here, and just take a gander. This one's at home. I just want to make sure. So at home, even Atlanta probably has a really good day against the Miami Dolphins. We're probably going to see people think, "Oh, London, he's green highlighted guy again." You know, it's a top 5 monster. Yeah, he might be from week to week, and that's probably the way it's going to be. Now, that might be enough for some of us that were trying to buy into some kind of high risk, high reward proposition. We can't win with what we have. We must sell, divide and conquer, I call it. I've coined it, where you take one player, divide them into 2 players, and try and conquer with a move like that. Brian Thomas Jr., complete bust. I don't even know that he would be able to even remotely get back into a green highlighted territory. Even if he had a great finish, it would still feel like he destroyed half your season. So at best, if he comes back from an injury that's very vague, ambiguous, we don't know how much time he's out. We don't know how bad the shoulder is. He could miss 4 weeks. He could miss 1.5 weeks. He could miss no weeks after the bye week. We don't even know. They're going into a bye week, keeping everything closed behind sealed doors. We don't know what in the hell's going on, but it feels like a bust, smells like a bust. Nothing's going to change right now. Genty, already went over that. Derrick Henry, absolute bust, as predicted, not to go near him on draft day. Don't go near Barkley. Don't go near Derrick Henry. Now it's time to buy Derrick Henry, because Derrick Henry is nowhere near this cost of entry. Genty, not near this cost of entry, but closer to it than Henry is to his cost of entry on draft day, September 1. So do we take Derrick Henry on a buy low situation coming off of a bye week where his team hasn't been playing well? Lamar hasn't been playing well. The play calling's been awful. The defense has been awful. How can they control the clock? Run the ball. Has Derrick Henry looked awful? He hasn't looked amazing, but he hasn't looked awful. They just haven't given him the ball. So Derrick Henry, out of everybody on this list so far that is highlighted red, and I'm talking Genty, I'm talking Saquon, and that's, really all we have because Neighbors and BTJ injured. So far, Derrick Henry has the most appeal at his probably third round or top of round 4 equivalent newfound cost of entry, probably has the most likelihood to flip into the highest tier above that expectation that we now have, which is a bust, a highlighted red bust. Derrick Henry. You need a gamble. You have a one player doing well. St. Brown can't win with St. Brown. Trade St. Brown. Have Puka Nacua, can't win with Puka Nacua. You got 2 wins. You got Puka Nacua and you're not winning. I'll tell you what, you're probably not going to. You got St. Brown right now. You're not winning. You're probably not going to. If you own JSN, I feel so awful even going in this direction, because if you own JSN, how the hell are you supposed to trade him? It feels wrong. It is wrong. But if you can't win with JSN, let him free. Let him go try and conjure up some sort of 2-for-1. You get 2 players. You trade JSN so you can try and put up a fight. If you're 2 or 3 wins with JSN, you've got to trade him. If you're 2 or 3 wins with anybody that's popping off, you've got no choice. D. Tate, I just described all about London, so you're going to have to rewind and watch. I will probably say at this point, Derrick Henry mixed with another player like Drake London, mixed with another player like Adams, mixed with another player like potentially, you could go different levels of wide receiver, is probably the best get right now using one individual player. You take a stab at Derrick Henry. Doesn't work out, you at least tried with a very, very logical choice. Derrick Henry and a player for your one monster. Probably the best advice I could give someone in an impossible situation that has no guarantees whatsoever, has its own level of risk, but the people I'm recommending it to are in do or die mode. They're in total risk territory now. Asking them to take a different lateral risk is not insane at all. Drake London, as we already talked about, and you can listen to this part too if you D Tate, if you haven't rewound already. London, as we just said over and over and over, this guy's not going to be consistent, but he's bye week free, and you may potentially have to go knocking on London's door and say, "Hey, London, let's ride, okay? Because I've got JSN and I can't win with them. I'm going to get a London, I'm going to get a Henry, I'm going to get a London, I'm going to get another player, London, and whatever." London becomes a player that is attainable. Why? Because he just played horribly. Why? Because he's been inconsistent. Why? People are trash talking, and rightfully so, Penix Jr. and this Falcons coaching staff and play calling, and that's going to drive people away from owning London. I want to get rid of him. I hear a bunch of trash talk about this team, rightfully so. It's justifiable, and so it drives people away. They want to make a move. Achane. Achane's been superb. Is there a chance he flips into a non-high red? No, unless he got hurt. But unless he got hurt, he's not flipping into red territories. But could he go from a highlighted green monster to a tween, in-between player? It's possible. We don't know what happens to the offense once they lose Tua Tagovailoa and he goes to the bench. We don't know what happens to the play calling and the design and the game script. You got to remember, this is Miami Mike McDaniel. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. You can't even understand him at the podium. I don't know. He's belligerent up there. Just like listening to somebody in reverse, in slow motion reverse. Doesn't make any sense at all. And so do I have confidence that he could screw up Devon Achane, yes, my confidence is high that he can screw up Devon Achane and the workload. And there's already some rumblings today about him wanting a complete split backfield, which should make you want to go get Ollie Gordon, especially if you own Achane. But this whole nonsense about split backfield is going to panic people too. Achane might be a good buy low, but he also is a player to be concerned about not selling extremely high and dividing and conquering Achane if you need it. If you're winning with Achane, don't do anything. If you're winning with Achane, say thank you and continue to dominate. If Achane potentially can get if you're losing with him, a divide and conquer Henry in London, you take advantage of that, even if you're throwing in something small. I'll get to the super chats in 1 second. Appreciate everybody. I see the 50s, the 100, or the 20s. I'll get to you in 1 second. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Sheesh. Thank you, everybody that dropped a super. Achane, buy? Sure. Buy off the panic today. They're talking about Miami Mike want a split backfield, and that's okay. That's how Achane stays healthy. You see a split backfield between Gibbs. Remember that? Yeah, Gibbs. I want to give Monty more carries. Gibbs, 2 touchdowns, 200 total yards. Everybody's favorite darling now. All the panic, all the ridiculous panic that we continue to tell people is ridiculous. Whenever there's any sort of Monty panic, who's here to tell you stay calm? Me. Who's here year in and year out telling you Monty has nothing to do with Gibbs? Monty's still a good player to own. He's inconsistent. They feed him inconsistently. And this is the same thing with J-Mo. J-Mo's a really good player. The reason your boy told you not to draft J-Mo, not to draft Lab McConkey, but I do like them now in Cellar Dweller. Listen to what I'm saying. Buy J-Mo free. Don't say Smitty, J-Mo's bad. I'm not saying he's consistent. I'm not even saying to use him right now, but go grab him and hold him. Go grab Lad and hold him if they're free. I told you not to draft J-Mo. I told you not to draft Lad McConkey because they're going in the 2nd and 3rd and 4th rounds. It was insane. Lad McConkey climbed into the 2-3 turn. J-Mo climbed into the 3-4 turn. So no second, but 2-3 turn for Lad. Lad got into the 2nd round at a certain point in best ball for about a month or so. It was insane. But getting them Cellar Dweller throw-ins they get dropped. You pick them up. But Achane, divide and conquer or keep depending on your situation. Love Achane. Not predicting a bust at Achane. Just there's volatility there. A.J. Brown, can't highlight him green because he just went off. He's been bad all year. But he's looking good now, so he's not highlighted red. But could he go back to being highlighted red? Yeah, he's complaining left and right still. He's still complaining. I would sell A.J. Brown more so than keep him if I could get the right deal. If I can't get the right deal, I hold him, and I just hope that things continue to go in the direction they're going. Brock Bowers, highlighted red, complete and utter bust. One of the worst picks in the 2nd round and beyond, period. Husseini with the 50. I see you. I'm going to come for your $50 and $20 super chats in a second. Just hang tight. Brock Bowers, probably one of the biggest busts in all of fantasy. Number one, you're taking him in a very volatile, risky, vulnerable way because drafting a 2nd round tight end puts you behind the 8 ball for running back, wide receiver, the entire draft. You're chasing positions, I call it. It's a very risky proposition to take a tight end early because you're chasing other positions, and if you aren't amazing at it or you can't run into injuries and busts and all that, you end up getting screwed in terms of your depth. If you own Brock Bowers, you probably have no depth on your team whatsoever. You're getting just blasted. And so this is what makes Brock Bowers such an appealing player to go trade for right now. Do I think he'll turn it around? I do. Do I think that coming off the bye, the Raiders have a bye here in week 8, do I think that he plays? I can't guarantee that, but I think he does. And if Brock Bowers comes back, guess what he's immune to? A bad team. The bad team won't hold him back. It'll hold him back a little bit, sure, but they'll be throwing in the 3rd and 4th quarter, throwing from behind, which means that Brock Bowers, as long as he's on the field, will get oversaturated. Even if not all of his balls are catchable, there will be enough to go around for this guy to certainly gain the value that you're having to pay now, which is nowhere near 18 overall. This guy probably costs you a 4th round value. you could probably get Brock Bowers for 4th or 5th round equivalent ADP. And that is glorious. That is fantastic. That is win a league value. This is one of the better go-gets in fantasy right now. If you can afford to wait. If you got 1 win, you can't. You got 2 wins, probably can't. Unless you're getting them in a way that doesn't impact you anyway. Then yeah, scoop them up. For anybody trying to do divide and conquer moves, you could trade a JSN right now only if you're losing. You don't trade JSN if you're winning. What's wrong with you? But if you've got JSN and you can't even build a team around him to win, what's wrong with you there too? Let's go ahead and take him, divide and conquer. And if you got, let's say, a London, who's not a very good get for JSN right now, but if you get a Bowers thrown in, then all of a sudden you're saying to yourself, JSN's on a bye. I've got 2 wins. I get London. He's bye week free. He goes in now. Yeah, Bowers is on a bye and injured, but it's such a bonus that if he comes back and London does hang with JSN, not that he's going to pass him or be as good, but he hangs with him, guess what? You've got 2 pieces, 2 components to help you win. That's a somewhat of a move that you can make for Bowers. Chase Brown, do I think he ever gets into the green? No. Can he flip out of the red? Maybe. Flacco's got to stay healthy. Bucky, do I think he gets into the green? I do. Do I think he gets out of the red? Absolutely. Does he stay in between? Maybe. But I think that from week 10 on, he has a bye in week 9. He's out week 8. He's already been ruled out week 8, Bucky Irving. If Bucky comes back after the week 9 bye and goes crazy in weeks 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, that's 8 weeks of football. Bucky could absolutely turn and flip this thing into a green. It's getting difficult to find someone listed at red that would flip to green, but that's one of them. Lab McConkey, complete and utter bust. See, I said he was climbing into the 2nd round. He's at 20 right here on this ADP, screenshotted from September 1. 20 overall. One of my biggest avoids in the 2nd round. I do love getting him now, though. I do love buying this, still hiding wide receiver 1 for his team if things go a certain way and he gets back on course. Joe Alt coming back. Some of that's all going to change everything. The dynamic of everything at play. A complete avoid on draft day for me is a good go get at seller dweller pricing. That is it. You don't get lad at old school value. You're not listening. JT, what would change? The guy's going to stay green all year unless he gets hurt, which is the only concern, but green all year. Jacobs, he'll stay green. He'll have some ups and downs, but this will be a guy that you can count on. T. Higgins, utter bust. Will he be maybe in the in between area? Maybe. You know, we have to Flacco stay healthy. A lot of what ifs. McBride's playing well now. Wasn't playing well until now. So not green yet. Could he finish green? Sure. Tyreek Hill injured, total bust. Hampton, total bust. Will he come back and turn into a green highlighted player? No. Will he maybe get out of the red? Maybe. Maybe. Injuries suck. Josh Allen, stud. And he'll continue to play at that level. Lamar Jackson, I think, can absolutely turn into a green highlighted player. It's been bad. They're going to run the ball. Lamar's going to turn it around. Lamar's a very good go-get player. Can carry you week in and week out. Marvin Harrison Jr., who the hell is that? Who the hell is Marvin Harrison Jr.? Is that a player that plays on Sundays? I don't recognize him. I don't see how in the hell he turns it around. In a quarterback carousel of turmoil, consider him cooked. Just what a disaster. Look one more time as we scroll through all the busts. 48% bust rate. And that's not even including any of the non-highlighted players that some in the chat said, I want to put Nico highlighted red. To be honest with you, Smitty, I didn't even highlight some players, and not including the non-highlighted players, there are 48% of the top 29 on this list highlighted red as a bust. 20 of the 29 players, 48% of them have been busts. Unbelievable. Crazy season, ladies and gentlemen. One of the wildest seasons in fantasy football that I can ever remember. And I've been doing this professionally for 20 plus years. It's a shame. It's devastating. But we rebound. We adjust and adapt. Husseini dropping let's get to these $50 haulers, by the way. Let's first do these 50s, then the 20s, then get to the rest, and then we'll get back to potentially phone calls.
Give me $50.
All right, Husseini, my boy, coming in strong with the $50 wad. We should have another $50 hauler song. I'm updating it. It'll still have Denny in it, but it'll be an enhanced $50 hauler song. Hopefully, I'll have that for the midnight show. Smitty pulled the trigger. I'm not happy, but desperate, so I did what I had to do. Traded Bucky JCM for Genty, MHJ, Pacheco. Yeah, it's tough, man. Husseini, it's really tough. I would try and flip MHJ and Pacheco now. If you can do that, I'm going to be a lot happier with this trade. Like if you, I think it's arguable for sure. You get Genty on a bye, but he comes back. Bucky's out, then has a bye, so he's missing one full extra game. And if I remember correctly, your 1 win or 2 wins can't afford any L's. So I'm with you on this. Let's move MHJ and potentially Sutton for one big monster. MHJ and Kamara for one big monster. Derrick Henry would be unreal. If you could get MHJ and Kamara, turn that into Derrick Henry and even something. Or you might even be somebody that wants to take a gamble on Barkley. I'm not saying it's pretty. Husseini, believe me when I tell you this, or at least understand when I say this. I can't guarantee that a Barkley or a Henry is going to be the answer for you. You might be putting yourself in an even worse position. But what I do know is you need to do something, and you did. And you took the first step here. That will be the next move. I don't think you screwed up. I think if you can pull off an MHJ Kamara for one Henry or Kyron or Achane with the news that he's splitting the backfield according to his coach, I want a 50-50 backfield, or potentially even James Cook coming off the bye week, which will help you so greatly. If you could turn this into James Cook, Husseini, I think you got yourself a nice little rebound type attempt of a season. Husseini, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. This is a $20 hauler from Chris. Chris, thank you very much for the $20 super chat. I'm going to put you right here. And let me just make sure I got other ones on screen here. Chris to the mother freaking moon. Husseini, you're the man, the myth, the legend. Love my boy Husseini. Sheesh Coin with the $50 hauler. Sheesh, thank you for the 50 wad. $50. Give me $50 holler. Sheesh, need help. 12-team.5, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex, big money. JD5, Penix, Lamb, Igbuka, Hunter, love the receivers. Bijan, Judkins, love the running backs. Like, what do we need help with other than the quarterback situation, right? Tight end Schultz, 4-2, was offer McBride plus Bucky for Bijan. Thoughts? I'm scared. Well, you're 4-2. You shouldn't be scared. Your team's really good. Bijan is just untradeable for me. I guess I would say, like, if Bucky were back, it would be one thing, bro. But at 4-2 and you're scared, why are we going to take Bijan's scoring bye week free, bro? He's not going to have a bye week for the rest of the year. He's done with that. He's all full go. Why are we going to trade that scoring when we're scared for no Bucky points for at least 2 weeks and you don't even fully know? You don't know. He could miss another game. He could have a setback. They're not telling us squat about this situation. Feel like I'm so in the dark. Hey, Todd Bowles, is Bucky's not, it's not in the cards for Bucky this week. That's all we hear. That sounds bad. I'm not saying the 2 weeks won't do him enough, service to get back into the action, but I'm just telling you, what are we doing here? Like, could this end up being better for you long term? Yes, it could be. But Bijan, you're going to have 2 weeks of losing points. Let's say Bijan scores 25 and 28 points. And let's say McBride scores you 12 and 6. Okay, there's still a significant amount of point differential there that even if, let's say, Bucky comes back, McBride and Bucky's playing so well, you're like, damn, he's not even that far off. And I got McBride. How long is it going to take you to get those points back that Bijan's out with an early lead to? Not to mention, it's not 2 against 1, it's 2 against 2. You still got Schultz. So with Bijan's lead, let's say it's 20-point lead after the 2 weeks of play between having Schultz or whatever tight end you have, Schultz and Bijan versus your whoever you're playing. If you do get Bucky, you're playing somebody else, and McBride. Let's say that combination is 20 to 25 point difference. It's going to take weeks to accumulate enough points to catch up to that. So at the end of the day, man, getting L's in between doesn't seem like a good move to me. I would not trade anything other than maybe Dobbins and a Hunter right now for a Henry. Dobbins and Hunter for Henry. Derrick Henry. Dobbins and Hunter, take a gamble on Barkley. Dobbins and Hunter, go get Adams. Dobbins and Hunter, try and get James Cook. Try and get a player like that. Dobbins and Hunter should be able to get you a bite. So keep trying. And not to mention your QB situation concerns me a little bit. I love JD5 when he comes back. I still think he could score well. So waiting isn't the worst idea, but you just toy around with what that combo could also do for you QB-wise. But thank you for the $50 hauler. Appreciate you dropping the wad. Kyle with a $20 hauler, and I got Chris's right here as well. Let me just see if there's any other 20s or 50s that need to be thrown on screen here. Nothing to it. Dropped a $20 hauler. Nothing. Appreciate you, my boy. Jonathan dropped a $20 hauler. Jonathan, I got you right here, pal. And then Ron, appreciate you with the $20 hauler. Let me put you right there. And I think that catches me up on all 20s, 50s, or anything higher. So let me scroll back over here. Chris with the $20 hauler says, league trade, half PPR, keep players for max 3 years, accept or no. Give JCM 5th round and Ricky Pearsall 6th round. I get St. Brown, can't be kept. Absolutely. Who cares about JCM and Pearsall? Who gives a crap about those two players? Ricky Pearsall, JCM for the rental of Amon-Ra St. Brown to win some cash money, pal. Do it live. Do it live. Do it live.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Jeez. Go get the cash. Do it live, Chris. That's easy. That's light work. That's simple stuff. Alave Mason, see what it can get you, though. See what it can get you. Do it live. Worthy and Alave, see what it can get you. All right. Ron, appreciate you with the 20 wad. 20 wad from Ron says the following. Hello. I'm sorry I messed up my question earlier. Start who? PPR, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. Bijan, Dowdle. Those are your 2 starters. Let's see. Hold on one second. Let me just pull up a schedule too, just to make sure we're hitting it properly, so you can win some cash. Go get it. Go get it. I mean, imagine getting St. Brown for that. Who cares about Pearsall and JCM at this point? Really, it's just insane. All right. So what's the question here? So who we starting? Okay. So Bijan and Dowdle, that's easy stuff. And I do think Dowdle is still really, really solid. I'm really intrigued about trading for Dowdle right now. In combo deals, wide receivers, so 2 running back, 2 wide receivers. So you're gonna go with Book, and you're gonna probably go with QJ. Book is just fantastic. He's going to be so good moving forward. So you got Diggs. You've got, all the bye weeks this week are just crazy. Sharps is on a bye, but otherwise somebody you consider using. QJ's been playing well. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using QJ while he's playing well. Tez is obviously nice. Dowdle, I guess I would probably say Breece Hall. I would probably go Breece Hall over QJ right now, but I don't know. The chat might feel different. If anything, Ron, I'm just going to trade Breece and QJ for 1 player. I'm going after Derrick Henry. I'm going after Adams. I'm going after James Cook. I'm going after Kyron, doubted. I'm going after those boys. I think it just makes a lot more sense than to be playing this who should I start each week. And I do believe Henderson will step up for you. I do believe actually Vidal is also not a bad option with Alt back and Haskins injured. That's something I consider. Or you might even wait a week, Ron, and then trade Vidal once he has a decent game to the Hampton owner. You could also trade for Hampton potentially, but that's going to be my choice for the flex. I think is probably make a trade versus go Breece. And then Yeah, that's my choice there, bro. Did I get that right, Ron? Let me know if there's anything else. All right, Jonathan, thank you for this $20 super chat. May, Flacco, White, Hendy, Harvey, Hampton, Bucky, Rice, Ibuka, Hunter, Bourne, like it, do it live, 2-5. Any help? Damn, 2-5. May's playing out of his mind. You're fine there. Rashad White and Bucky, you're kind of covered there, so you don't need to make a move. But I'd consider one. Harvey, Hampton. I mean, you're really hurting at that other running back spot, right? Rice, Igbuka's fantastic. Hunter's on a bye, but coming on strong. I don't know that there's much to do unless you try and divide and conquer Rice or Igbuka. And I don't know, man. It's such a tough one. Hopefully Vidal got cut. Make sure you grab him if he's available. I think, you probably could try and trade Bucky right now for Henry. That's probably what I would do, Jonathan. At your record 2-5, you can't afford bye weeks anyway. You got Bucky out this week. You got him on a bye, and then you come back and you're 2-7. So try and move Bucky for Henry or Barkley and something. Not saying it's pretty, but it's not pretty now. You're in a bind, and Henry is going to be at least a logical attempt. Rest of season PPR, Judkins or Kyron, and Henry or Buka. Judkins or Kyron, I'm going to go probably Judkins if I had to choose rest of season. Just think he's touchdown hungry like Kyron, but also just feel like they're going to run the hell out of him. But I love Kyron. I could go either way. I think that's a very even one. And then Bucky, Henry, you just heard me give the advice that if we're talking about right now, moving forward, not saying that in week 14 I won't want Bucky more. I will. I'm telling you that right now. I'm giving you a telegraphed piece of information from the future. Hi, I'm future Smitty. I like Bucky more than Henry. It's week 15. But right now, you can't afford to wait. You can't afford to wait. If you can't afford, you can afford to wait. But Henry right now, if I had to choose, is the better option. Kyle, full PPR, QB, Dimes, Burrow, Bijan, Gibbs, Scat, Rico, Tet, Diggs, Hunter, Warren. What are you consolidating for a bigger single piece? This community you have put together is top notch. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate your $20 super chat. I love your two running backs. You can almost make this work with Dimes and the two running backs and Scat. I really don't know that I'm worried, right? Rice on top of it, you're absolutely set up to dominate, bro. This team you've got here, even Tet undervalued, Diggs undervalued, Tyler Warren, you are almost in stand down mode. Almost.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
The only thing that's exciting me about this is your consolidation doesn't have to do with trading any of the big guys. You can keep Tyler Warren, Rice, Bijan, Gibbs, and Dimes and be fine, right? So the only thing that you could try and consolidate that won't jeopardize anything, it's just you trying to get a little bit better or you stand down. Scat and Diggs, Scat and Tet, Scat and Hunter for one bigger monster. And I keep going to Henry, but it's interesting. Henry and something. But I don't know. If you ask me, do I like Scat or do I like Henry going forward? I could go back and forth, to be honest. I love Scat a lot. Henry without the bye, it's just a real nice option. And he's going to bring potentially either the thunder or be a bust. So Scat brings you very consistent, high-end running back 2 value, maybe low-end running back 1. But could you get more? Could a Scat and a Diggs get you Henry in something that you actually like a lot more? Or Hunter and Scat get you Henry in something you actually like a lot more? It's possible. You just toy around with the idea, but don't do it without asking us. I think you could probably do a Scat and Tet for Kyron, Scat and Tet for Achane off of the Achane. Mike McDaniel today saying he wants a 50-50 backfield. He wants a split backfield between Gordon and Achane just to keep Achane fresh and all that. It's going to panic some people. Do I want James Cook off of a bye and playing badly before the bye, according to his owners that are upset about it? Scat and Tet for Cook. Scat and Tet for, as I said, Kyron. Scat and Tet for JJ. Scat and Tet for JJ. Scat and Diggs for JJ. Scat and Travis Hunter for JJ. That's my favorite one, Kyle. You pull that off, it's over. They might as well just write the check straight to you and start over. You could tell them, everybody send me 80% of the money now, and we'll redraft for the rest of the season so that you guys can have something to live for. Trade Hurts and Ken Walker for Josh Jacobs and Kyler. I'm going to say negative on that if Kyler's your quarterback. I'd rather have Hurts and Ken Walker, who's the metrics are good for Ken. They just take him out of the goal line, but I think I could probably trade Ken Walker. I know you probably tried, but I don't know. I like Jacobs a lot, but Hurts is just a much bigger monster than Kyler in terms of fantasy scoring, so I'm going to say negative on that one. DTX, appreciate you. Wide receiver depth. Need a running back. Traded Pickens for Javonte. You have Blue. I'm fine with that. It's a very fair trade, though. Yes, very fair trade. Christopher, I like it. 50-50 for me, depend on the need. Christopher, ETN, and Wandell for Hurts and Pearsall. I would take Hurts in a heartbeat. Now that you have both quarterbacks, though, I will say, like, this is if you have running back depth. I would try and flip Darnold with something small to get something, that would benefit me. But I definitely think Hurts is a smart play. I don't know that Darnold's going to be ultra consistent down the stretch. We've seen Darnold fall apart before. Traded Bowers for Genti, grabbed Gadsden. I would rather have Genti in a vacuum, but I think that there's an argument to be made on both sides of position of need, depth at running back, etc. Trade Buka and Kyron for JJ and Chase Brown. I'd rather have Buka and Kyron by quite a bit. Yeah. PPR Worthy, QJ, Wandell Robinson, Diggs, Rankum. I'd probably say Worthy, QJ, Diggs, Wandell. Wandell's like maybe one of the safest, but he has a little less ceiling. But I do like Wandell. He's not bad. They're all pretty good. It's just forced to rank. That's a pretty decent group. Olave for Diggs and Manungai. I'd rather have Olave. Olave's playing way too good to trade him for that. You need to keep him or trade him higher. Traded Judkins for Sutton and Rome. I'd rather have Judkins. I wouldn't have made this trade. It's not horrible, but I wouldn't have done it. Judkins to me is worth a little bit more than that. It's not bad. It's not bad, though. If you needed 2 wide receivers and you had a plethora of running backs, I guess I'd consider it. 4 and 3, 10-man PPR, Hurts, Penix, Javonte, Williams, Scat, Judkins, Vidal, BTJ, Bo, Bowers, any moves. Love Javonte, Scat, and Judkins, to be honest. It's a really quietly cool running wide receiver room. London and Sutton, you're mixing you've listed it all in non-order, Wiki. This is like a blender. It's so hard to evaluate teams when you don't put them in order of best player. You're just going to get a lesser evaluation. I'm just telling you, it's like showing your house off to sell it and you don't mow the lawn. You're gonna put London second, Judkins last. Come on, organize your things, bro. Take advantage, take some respect and care with your presentation, Wiki. 4 and 3, I like your squad a lot. I think you just kind of sit on this team. It's really good. Sutton and London, it's pretty solid. I don't know that you're moving much. Once Bowers gets back, you might be able to move, and I would move one of Gadsden, Fannin now with, let's say, a BTJ. And the only reason you're going to be able to do that is because someone needs a tight end and they're willing to wait on BTJ. And you get someone's Adams, you get someone's Derrick Henry, you get someone's Garrett Wilson, or something like that, using a Gadsden and player, Gadsden and BTJ, BTJ being hurt. There's just something about getting that extra player that allows someone to make the gamble on BTJ. Vidal, if you go to the Hampton owner, see if they want Vidal or see if they want to give you Hampton. I'd take Hampton for Gadsden or Fannin or something like that. Bowers will be back, but I also don't mind just riding it out right now, waiting a week, Wiki, and seeing what these guys do to your value. And if you can trade them next week a little bit easier and get the most bang for your buck, and you'll know what's up with Bowers at that point. My DK for Henry, I'd take Henry in a heartbeat. I don't even need to know the rest of the team. That's just a good gamble to make at this stage in the game, bro. Trade in, Ziggy, show me the front door. Trade in 8-team PPR. Bijan Buka for Gibbs, Rice, and Amon-Ra. Okay. Ziggy off. I would say Bijan Buka for Gibbs and Rice or Amon-Ra. So I'm going to say Rice over Amon-Ra. So just simplify this. Gibbs and Rice for Bijan Buka. Jeez. Has there ever been a closer trade? Has there ever been a closer trade? Bijan Buka or Gibbs and Rice? Bijan Buka, Gibbs, Rice. Can we get a vote on that one? I don't know, man. That is insane. That is one of the toughest trade evals of the week, I think. Wouldn't you guys say? Can I get a vote on that, please? Bijan Buka or Gibbs and Rice. Let's see what the chat says. Let's see. Vote, guys, vote. Bijan side. Gibbs Rice side. Gibbs Rice, Bijan Buka. Bijan Buka, Gibbs, Bijan, Gibbs, right? It's completely even Steven split. I would probably say, my gut tells me Bijan's bye week free. Oh, man. I would probably say, geez, man. I think it's dead even. I think it's dead even. I can't even, once I'm about to commit to a side, I'm like, it's dead even. Like, I like Rice over Buka a little bit. I do. Just a little bit. And I like Bijan over Gibbs just a little bit. Not a ton, just a tiny bit. And at the end of the day, I guess when you step back in this thing and you say, Bijan's in a bad but good offense, it goes back and forth, right? But he's so good they can use him in bad game scripts. But he's in a little bit more of an up and down offense. Buka's probably in a great offense, but we saw Baker struggle. You know, anything's possible. But Gibbs, we know, lives in an amazing situation that they'll throw to him, run him, doesn't matter. And they're having success, so it's enabling using him. They're enabled to get him the ball. He's a playmaker. He keeps winning them games. They're going to give Gibbs the ball. It doesn't matter what they've said. And Rice plays in maybe one of the best offenses in the league. So in a sense, Gibbs and Rice is probably smarter. It's just safer. I'm going to say Gibbs and Rice, final answer. But boy, is that a tough one. That one will tickle your fancy if you're not careful. Traded my Caleb and Michael Carter for Henry. I'd take Henry in a second. Caleb. What are we doing back there? By the way, Bajan, how many games till Bajan's starting? Someone dropped Travis Hunter. I picked him up. 10-man league. That's a fantastic addition. Rise above. Proud of you, guy, for doing that. What running back to trade for with ETN? Tootin or Debo? With ETN. What running back to trade for with ETN, Tootin, and Debo? So you're trading all of those guys? James Cook, Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Achane, Judkins. I'd take any one of those players for that combination, I think. I'd try and get something else with some, like, depending on how far down you go into a Judkins, you might be able to get something, you know, and that is a lot of value to give somebody, but I definitely like Judkins more. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Pod, appreciate your super chat, young man. Pod says the following. Pod's Dak, Rice, Wandell, JT, Kyron, Scat. Love the running backs. Kittle, Pearsall. Please put me on a good Kyron trade. I hate having him. Why do you hate having Kyron? He's been really good this year. Let's send, if you want to send Kyron away, if you're paying me to send Kyron packing, that's my sole job. No matter what I want. I guess I'm trading Kyron and Kittle for some sort of package deal where I'm getting JJ and another player. Now that other player is very dependent, you know, on the option. Like the options will make me do or not do the trade. So that'd be kind of where I would head on it. Go trade Kyron and Kittle for one better player. Because I think what you're probably doing is you're going Kyron for who? And everyone's like, I don't know. I don't want to trade you. What do you want? Adams? I don't know if I want to, you know, you're going back and forth in these 1-for-1s. If you go after a better player, all of a sudden things change, bro. It's a whole different, you know, pool of trade ideas. And JJ fits the bill. Injured Nico. Kyron for injured Nico 1-for-1. You could look at that. So look to upgrade, and JJ feels like a nice move. Just make sure you're getting something else. Appreciate you. That's where I would head with that at first, bro. And Kittle, Kittle should get you a ton. And I'm not a big guy on Kittle, bro. Trade Saquon, DK for Hampton, AK, Garrett Wilson, and Mooney. Trade Saquon and DK for Hampton, AK, Garrett Wilson. I'd rather have DK and Saquon. It's not that the other side can't win out, but I don't know. Rice and ETN for Cook and Sutton. I would take, Rice and ETN, and then still trying to trade ETN. But I'm not flipping that. I like Cook a lot, but I like Rice way more. And Sutton and ETN, honestly, I mean, of course, I think ETN's questionable right now. You need Tootin, but I'd almost try and go get Tootin before I go crazy. Joey Boyd, $10 hauler, 2 and 5. JD5 running backs, Genty, Chase Brown, JCM, Marks, Monungai, Adams, BTJ, Pickens. Okay. What do I need to do with this team? Can't trade the running backs. I'm sorry, you can't. BTJ can't trade Pickens. It's hard to trade him, though. People are kind of panicked on him. JD, you got nothing to trade, Joey boy. You're coming to me a little late. There's so many injuries and downplaying players. Like the only thing you have to move would be Adams or Pickens. And if you're trading Adams, is the trade market really there for him? It's not really that lucrative. You'd almost have to like turn this into a Chase Brown and Pickens for Henry or Kyron or Barkley and get some other player that just happens to be just amazingly undervalued on their squad. So I give you 2 running backs to go after. So Barkley, Henry, injured Bucky. You're 2 and 5, but I mean, I'm trying to figure out a way to get you a winning team, and maybe you squeak through one of the next 2 weeks with a win, just because you have some good players. I love Tyler Warren. Someone's going to overpay for Tyler Warren. I suppose I would take a look at it. Look, Pickens and Adams and Tyler Warren and Genty and Chase Brown, they could pull through. You could win with this team. I just don't think there's a lot of, you're asking me to make trades. There's not a lot of trade value here. Maybe you could trade let's see. Adams and Pickens for JJ and something. Chase Brown and Pickens for JJ and something. Chase Brown and Pickens for Henry and something. For Barkley and something. For Kyron and something. Try there. Your advantage point is going to be tricking someone into giving you a second player that they undervalue, and you gain that advantage, and then all of a sudden you got a new hand that you're dealing with. You just need to make this 2-for-2 trade that gives you this incremental increase in that second player, and you quietly like the player you're getting. Let's say it's Henry. Chase Brown, Henry swap, and then you somehow get Pickens upgraded into somebody, or let's say it's Adams, or let's say it's 2 other players that you're throwing at him. You just need to like that second upgrade in a way that just gives you this new hand to look at, and then we go from there. To fix it would be impossible in one step. Thank you for the super chat, my boy. My Pickens and Hunter for JJ. I take JJ and run. That's a nice little move. Need a running back. I have Debo and Higgins for Judkins. I'd take Judkins in a heartbeat for that. That's fantastic, Daniel. Judkins or James Cook or even Henry. Henry still fits the bill there, but I definitely would do for Judkins. That'd be fantastic. Caleb or Dart. I go Dart and T-Mac or Waddle this week. I think we need to wait and play that one by ear. But I would say T-Mac for now. Just don't trust that Miami situation whatsoever. But I do like Waddle a little bit, especially if they're playing from behind. They'll throw to him no matter what. Should I trade away CD and build for DK and Derrick Henry? No. CD's worth way too much, bro. I need players without bye weeks. You might, but I don't know that that's the move. I think CD for Derrick Henry and Adams, or I like DK. He's not bad, but I'd rather have a different player. See what other receiver they have. DK, and if you did it, it would be like CD for, yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough. And you're throwing Bill back, and I don't think Bill's that crazy of a value right now, but it seems like this guy's trying to do a 2 for 2. I don't like it. I want a better player than DK. And if he doesn't want it, if he's like trying to hold back his second best player, like, look, bro, you're giving him a top 6 overall player. If his wide receiver is below CD and he's not willing to do this, then he's not willing to get CD. Tell him that. You're not willing to give up that receiver. You're not willing to get CD. You want CD, you pay for CD. You don't get DK Metcalf doesn't close the gap between Derrick Henry, who's playing horribly, and you're buying him on the upside that he plays better, but you're not talking to him about that. You got to get way more than DK Metcalf to close the gap between CD and a bad playing Derrick Henry. But I like the way you're going at it, though. We just need more. We spoke earlier, 1 and 6. You mentioned flipping Gibbs for Cook, Derrick Henry, and Kyren. Receivers for Henry, owner, Worthy, Diggs, Allen. Okay. So you mentioned flipping Gibbs. Yeah, 1 and 6, he has to. I wish he didn't have to, but Gibbs for Cook, Derrick Henry, and Kyren, and receivers for Henry, owner. What in the hell are you saying here? Flipping Gibbs for Cook, Derrick Henry, and Kyren, receivers for Henry, owner, are. Okay. So you're trying to give me. So Henry and none of these receivers work. I'm sorry. Gibbs commands a top 10 wide receiver with Henry. This does nothing for me. Worthy, Diggs, Keenan Allen can kick rocks. MHJ kick rocks. None of those guys are doing diddly squat in a deal that involves one of them with Henry for Gibbs. Gibbs doesn't even talk to them. So we need other receiver. I'm talking about with like, so it looks like the Henry owner's out. So I'm talking about like Henry or Kyren or Cook, and they have a wide receiver at the level of, and if they don't want to give this up, then they don't. London, bye week free, playing bad. They don't want to do it, then they don't get Jahmyr Gibbs. Egbuka, they don't do it, they don't get Jahmyr Gibbs. Adams is probably the lowest I'd go. Adams and Kyren for Gibbs. I don't even know if the chat would like that. Chat, vote on that one. If he's got to make a move. Here, Flat, you're gonna keep talking trash. We'll put you in a 10-minute timeout so you can think about that. There you go. Travis didn't put you in timeout for talking trash about Travis. I did, Flat. You say you should take away Travis's wrench and give it to me. I don't think so. You just got put in timeout. So shape up. Smitty, I'm 1 and 6. Help. Mahomes, Lamb, Garrett, Hunter, Bucky, Scat, JCM, Pitts, Andrews, Hendy, Harvey, Marks, Tootin. Need to trade. Damn, you got Mahomes, Lamb, and Bucky, and this team is 1 and 6. Oh, man. I'm going to tell you, like I tell every Bucky owner, the Henry swap is a really nice one. And anybody that has Henry is not that enamored with him, bro. They're very, very tempted to trade him. Bucky, you can probably get something more. And if you got to throw something else at him to get a 2 for 2 going, throw him Garrett Wilson. See if he can give you a receiver you like even quietly better than Garrett Wilson. Somebody that could deliver maybe more consistently, has a good quarterback or something, you know. You got Lamb, but like Pickens comes to mind. Hunter should be good for you. Scat should be really good for you. I think really for you, it's getting out of Bucky, who's missing 2 weeks. And that's the main trade and focus you should have right now, is trying to figure out how to trade Bucky straight across for a running back that specifically James Cook or Henry that's had a bye week already. And you can use that. Goff, T-Law, Tyrod, Derrick Henry, Pacheco, 3 and 4 after drafting Neighbors Hill. Man, I'm sorry to hear about the injuries and everything that's gone wrong for your team. I don't know what you can do, though. Derrick Henry, you sit on that. Woody, Marks, Garrett Wilson, Addison. There's not much. I hate not giving you much help here, but there's nothing you can do but wait for Bowers to come back strong. You got to let Harvey pop somehow. Garrett Wilson, you can't trade Garrett Wilson for anything right now. No one's given anything for Derrick Henry. You really have almost no ability to make a trade. and it's a super flex to boot, which is impossible to upgrade these quarterbacks. And Goff's pretty solid, but I don't know, man. If this is me, I'm probably just sitting one more. I know it's hard because you're 3-4, but you're better off than I would have expected. 3-4 with this team is actually not bad. You're waiting 1 week to gain some values, bro. Unless somebody's giving you for Gadsden and Addison, you somehow find a way to get, I think Ladd's a good go get for you using like a Fannin or something. Gadsden's very nice. You might want to let him play 1 more week unless you can sell him ultra high right now, like Gadsden and Pacheco for just some sort of very creative running back maneuver. Gadsden and Pacheco, Gadsden and Addison for a slight wide receiver creative maneuver. People are getting out of Pickens in weird ways. Jamo's free. I don't know if you can do something. Monitor the waiver wire too. I don't think there's much you can do. You lost Neighbors and Hill, and Bowers is playing like trash. He's not playing like trash. He's producing 0, and he's delivering trash. Caleb, you got to wait a week. I wish there was a way to help this team, but I would be doing you a disservice telling you to move that stuff. You just gonna have to wait a week. Let some guys gain value. Hall for Rome. I'd rather have Rome with the bye week out of the way. Yeah, it's tough to say that. I mean, if Hall got traded to KC, we maybe regret that. But sit 1, Ladd, DK, Addison, PPR, Buka to Saturn. That's right. I'd probably sit right now. I'd probably sit Ladd for right now and just wait it out. Don't drop him. I still love Ladd. He's still a great player. Got offered my McBride and BTJ for Buka. I would take Buka. Buka for me. Lamb and Warren for Gibbs and Devontae Smith. I would take, I assume that's Jalen Warren. You didn't clarify, Kyle. I don't know why you threw a Warren in there without the first initial, but I would say I'd rather have Gibbs and Devontae Smith over Lamb and Jalen Warren. If it's Tyler Warren, give me Lamb and Tyler Warren. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Ricky Turbo, my boy, dropping a $10 wad. Says 3-4, 10-man PPR, 1 QB, 1 tight end, 2 running back, 2 wide receivers. Baker, Herbert, Bijan, Genty, Lamb, Buka, Rice, London. Look at those receivers. Running backs off the hook. Your team's fantastic, Stash. Start Buka or London. I'm starting Buka. Herbo or Baker. I'd probably go Baker for now. Yeah. I mean, it's a good matchup, bro. Stand down or get a running back. I don't know. You're pretty solid, bro. If I can start all 4 of those receivers on the regular, then I'm not moving anything. Unless I can move Sharbs right now or Woody Marks. Sharbs or Woody with Genty just to upgrade Genty slightly. Kind of like Henry. I love Genty, though. I don't know. Chat, vote Henry bye week free or Genty on a bye now with a bad team. I kind of feel like Henry. I don't know if that's a move you want to make or willing to make. I just so you know, I'll be rooting for Genty to outplay Henry. So if it happens, we'll be excited for that too. Because advising someone to trade Genty for Henry and still rooting for Genty and still telling people to go buy Genty low, there's still pockets of different situations, right? So if Genty goes crazy, we'll get a hater or two will come in here and go, "You're telling people to trade Genty away." No, I'm not. You don't understand ball. You don't understand fantasy football. There are people that are in positions to trade for Genty, and I love it and I recommend it. Go get Genty. Genty's held by his current owner with neglect and regret and disdain. And so buying Genty is amazing. But selling Genty and going and getting a doubted Henry is also amazing. There are pockets of different people that get different advice based on their different angle. And I love Genty and Henry both. They both have risk. They both have reasons to go get. They both have reasons to hold. In that situation, I'd like Henry. Derek, Drake May, Achane, Chase Brown, Bucky, Tet, Sutton, Rome, Bowers. You could do the Bucky maneuver, the Bucky for Henry maneuver. I also think Sutton or Tet Keep Rome, keep Bowers. Sutton or Tet with Chase Brown for a one running back upgrade. Vic would probably be something I would definitely explore with that squad. And then this one right here, Smitty, do I make a move? I'm 3-4. Indiana Jones, Dart, Bowers, or Burrow, Rice, Igbuka, Debo, nice receivers. Judkins, Hall, Scat, love that. Bowers, Fannin. Traded Jamar Chase and MHJ for Rice, Judkins, and Hall in week 7. I love Rice and Judkins over Jamar. And then Hall and MHJ are wash. So it's a good trade. As far as your team goes, I think, if you're going to move, like, let's say Hall and maybe Debo for one player, I love that. Hall Debo for Henry, Hall Debo for James Cook, Hall Debo for Kyron. Let's do that, JJ. Those would be unbelievable moves that would level up your team to the point where it's almost game over. 12-man PPR. Should I go for any one team? Is Hurts, Gibbs, Genty, Chase, AJB, Scary Terry, Alvin Kamara? I'd probably move Alvin Kamara first chance I get, bro. Alvin Kamara, and honestly, if there's a team that has one running back but no great number 2 running back, they might take Alvin Kamara and Genty for their one running back. It might be hard to find that package, or that one player in that scenario. Scary Terry coming back might excite someone. So like Alvin Kamara, Scary Terry for like one player would be kind of intriguing and interesting. Not a lot to move really with that squad, but those are the things that I would contemplate doing. We got a $20 hauler from G Money. Appreciate you, my boy. Hey, Smitty, this team is 4-3, 12-man. Half PPR, Mahomes, Dart, Judkins, Hampton, Benson, Harvey, Tootin, Puka, Igbuka, Rice. Love your 3 wide receivers. Fantastic. Travis Hunter's tradable, I think. So Travis Hunter and Hampton for one now playing player. Travis Hunter and Hampton for Barkley. Travis, you got to take a chance. Travis Hunter and Hampton for, you're trying for Kyron. You're not going to get him. You're trying for, even ETN. ETN's probably the safest player for you to go get. I don't think I'd trade Travis Hunter and Hampton for him, but maybe Hampton for ETN. Maybe Travis Hunter for ETN, and you get Tootin and ETN together so that you can have at least a secure running back too. Past that, I'm not touching Book or Puka or Rice. I'm not touching Judkins. I'm not touching Mahomes. You figure out that piece, and that might be game over in that league. Fantastic team. Keep trying at those packages, bro. That would be solid for you. My Debo and Cook for London and Genty. I'd take London and Genty. I'd take the gamble on that. Rudy, appreciate your super chat, Rudy. Traded Brees and Mason for Swift and Debo. I'm indifferent on that. I'd probably take the well-playing Swift right now. I have Puka, JSN, Rice, Downs, Genty, Monty, Kraft, Pitts, and May, 12-man. I consider trading Kraft and starting Pitts and just taking a gamble there. I like Kraft, but Kraft and Genty for an upgrade, a major upgrade. Or you could go potentially, Puka, JSN, and Rice is fantastic. Genty, Monty. Kraft and Genty or Kraft and Monty. Maybe you do Kraft and Monty for just a tiny running back upgrade. I don't know if you could get your hands on Tootin off waivers and then make a trade Kraft for ETN and take a gamble there. I don't know if Henry's doable with Kraft and Monty. I don't know if Barkley's something you want to even, dance around with at that value. But I think that would be the only trade point for you. Everything else, keep it. You're straight fired. Just keep trying that until you make that one move for that one slightly better running back that just makes you feel real comfortable. Try Achane and Kyron. Their owners seem to be doubting them right now. Should I trade Dart for Terry McLaurin? I have Dak. I would definitely take a gamble on Terry McLaurin at that value. I like Dart for sure, but if he's not your starter, I definitely would use him to get a receiver like that. QB Premium League, JD5, Kyler, Caleb, Dart, Lamb, Igbuka, BTJ, Achane, Hall. Love the team. Scat, JMO, Warren, Marks. Love the team. Fantastic. Franklin, 10-man. Hard to trade away a QB. No one needs. Traded Garrett for JD5. What else do I do? You keep trying to trade a QB if it's QB Premium. I don't know why someone wouldn't pay if the price is right. I love Achane and Scat. And I'm willing to move Hall and let's say BTJ and Hall for like one safer player and you could go after, even if it was Adams, if it was the Henry, Achane Kyler, Achane Kyren. I mean, obviously Judkins, but Henry would be great here. Javonte would be fantastic. JJ would be unbelievable for Hall. What did I say? Hall and what? So throw up a quarterback too. Hall, a quarterback like Caleb. Hall, Caleb, and BTJ for one player. And you go from like London, Rice. You're not going to get those guys. Buka down to about Adams, and then you probably call it there. And at running back, you could do it for Javonte, for Judkins, for Cook coming off a bye, for Henry. Any of those players, Javonte potentially even, that would be a big difference maker for your team. That'd be fantastic. Do you think Pollard gets traded? I don't think so, but he could. He certainly could. Anybody could. Walker seems more likely. Breece Hall seems more likely to get traded, if I had to guess. But honestly, this goes back to even the Bigsby trade. ETN felt more likely to get traded at the time, and Bigsby got traded. So you never really know. It's not an easy thing to predict, to be honest. May, Dart, Gibbs, Breece, Vidal, Marks, Ladd, Dobbs, Godwin, Andrews, any moves? I don't know. I'm going to be honest, man. I don't know if this team can win it. You got Gibbs, and I don't think that it's winning. My guess is you're not winning. Ladd, Dobbs, Godwin. I mean, that's an awful wide receiver room. Is this like a 16-man league, Pure? This is really bad. You must have been hit. You're just so humble. You didn't even say, and I lost neighbors, and like you're just telling people your team. You don't even need to explain it. You got hit hard. Geez. I'd probably say you just got to trade Gibbs. Start there. But you need two monsters. You need Judkins and London. You need Nico Hurt and Judkins or higher. You need Genty and a London, and that's probably not even enough. But you probably need to start there. Bring me the offers that you end up getting, though, for Gibbs before you maybe do them. But you're going to have to trade him. There's just no way that team's winning without a trade. 6-1 says Lunchbox, my Drake May, Benson, and Myers for Lamar. I would take Lamar. That's not too much. I think Lamar is worth it in fantasy football. Obviously we love what Drake May is from a football perspective, and would probably rather have him in the Lamar for the future, to be honest. I'm 5-2, 12-man PPR, Mahomes, Scat, Jamo Williams, or is that Javonte? It's got to be Javonte. Chase, T-Mac, Monty, Hunter, Pearsall, Tootin. Okay, Bucky on IR. What should I do? Your team's good. I think T-Mac and Monty, T-Mac and Bucky to go get one monster wouldn't be a bad idea. T-Mac and Monty, T-Mac and Hunter, T-Mac and Bucky for Kyren and something, Achane and something, Judkins and something. T-Mac and Bucky, you try for JT, you get rejected probably. Henry and something, Cook and something, but it depends on the something that you get back, bro. Truly. I'd definitely be looking to move Bucky. And then Bucky for Henry straight up is a move we keep talking about for people that don't want to wait, that can't wait. Okay, do I now trade my Sutton, Pacheco, Kamara for Henry? Yes. Try and get something back, Husseini. But that's good. My wide receivers are Rice, Sutton, Ladd, Hunter. Sutton, Pacheco, Kamara for Henry. Try and get something back, Husseini. I feel like you can get something. Like a Jamo-like player. You should be able to get something thrown in. Genty warming up. I mean, he's warming up. The only thing is, of course, Matt, we love him. But you got to also understand that, this game script he can't do anything with 6 carries, Matt. You can't even warm him up with 6 carries, Matt. So they need to run the ball. They need to run him. He's ready. He's fine. He doesn't need to warm up the Shiat. It's that they need to give him the damn ball. And that's the problem, is it could be inconsistent in terms of how they do that. Could be 7 carries in one game. And then Matt, we could say till we're blue in the face, he's the best running back in the league, and it wouldn't matter. But I do think trading for Genty is smart in a certain context. Absolutely. He's just waiting for carries. There's nothing he can do about it. This guy had 6 carries at the beginning of the third quarter. I'm like, sweet. Okay, well, let's see. They're going to run him. How many carries did he have at the end of the game? 6. He didn't get a single carry in the fourth quarter, from what I remember. I think I'm right on that. I was watching. I believe I checked and it was 6, and then watching the whole fourth quarter, and then just saying, did I miss something? Did he really just have no carries? He had 6 carries at the end of the game. I mean, if I was the owner of this organization, even if I'm Tom Brady and I'm part owner, I'm marching in there in the morning, and not even in the morning, before Pete Carroll hits the office or the locker room, when I'm sitting there, standing there going, what in the hell's wrong with you? We draft this Genty guy and you don't even use him. Trade London for Achane. I'd take Achane. I'd take Achane. Hunter, Genty, Ladd, rank rest of season. I'd probably say Genty, Hunter, Ladd in that order. And I don't know that there's a lot of maneuverability for... Yeah, I don't know. Ladd could rise up to the top. I mean, but I think Ladd third for right now. But Ladd's still a monster in waiting. I truly believe that. Yeah, I've been saying it for over a week now, that the Raiders should just try to trade for Fields. Just see what happens. I know Fields is as broken as it gets. I'm not saying he's fixable. I'm not. But he's better than Geno Smith. And who knows what happens with Fields. Who knows what happens with Fields in a different situation. The only problem with this, Travis, is if he does go there, he's going to another broken situation. So it's like, then everyone's going to just think he's trash again. The one thing I do know is Fields doesn't throw INTs. So is it Fields or is it the Jets? I don't know. I mean, it's easy to say, look, Fields hasn't done it. Let's stop with the Field stuff. Sure, but he keeps going to these shitty situations. Sutton and Chase Brown for Javonte. I'd take Javonte. Javonte's playing well enough to earn that. Chuck says, Smitty, the name of the blue light blocking glasses. I'll do you better. I'll get you 15% off right now by hitting the code, my boy. Here's the link to get these blue light blocking glasses. They're Gunner. It's in the description of the video no, actually it's not in the description of this video. I'm sorry. Let me drop the link right now for you, and this will get you 15% off using code Smitty. The link will insert code Smitty for you. These are the Gunners. These are what we do. This is how we do it. Your boy's been wearing. Get your Gunner glasses like Smitty. And there's the link. Let me pin the link in the live chat, my boy. Appreciate you asking. Use that code, though. Use that code. Let's go to the Gunner station and switch out the blue light blocking glasses. Let's switch them out.
The Gunner Player of the Week. Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Let's switch these out. Let's go with the yellow Witcher and the sunglass tint Witcher. They're the same glasses. I'll switch them on and off while I'm sitting. These are the same glasses. Let me go to the table view and show you these bad boys. These are the difference here. Here are the Gunner yellow tint and Gunner sunglass tint. They have the same really amazing stitching. You can't really see unless I zoom in perfectly. Can't really see. This is like a leather, like with stitching on the side. It's really awesome. And these are the yellow amber tint. I'm trying to get the orange ones sent to me because I like the darker orange amber tint. But these are in the sunglass tint as well, and I kind of prefer that because I live in a light box in here, Everyone's like, oh, you wear sunglasses. How stupid. These are blue light blocking glasses, pal. They're blue light blocking glasses. They're not sunglasses. They're blue light blocking glasses. Get it straight. They're from Gunner. They're from Gunner, who you can see has a Gunner Player of the Week by the name of Rashee Rice. Doing it live. Doing it live. Doing it live.
The Gunner Player of the Week. Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Description in the video. Javonte Williams or Judkins. Give me Judkins, but I think Javonte does deserve to be considered. Husseini says rank in a vacuum rest of season. Judkins, Henry, then Genty, then Barkley. But I do like all those guys as potential bounce back players at certain costs of entry, if that makes sense. Rank for the rest of the for this week. Caleb, Indiana Jones, or Dart. I'm gonna go Indy at home versus Tennessee's nice. I mean, I think it's gonna be a nice game for him. I like Dart a lot, but that's Philly. Philly is gonna be tougher than like Philly on the road. I would say, and then Caleb, Chicago they're on the road, right? Yeah, Baltimore. I think Baltimore's gonna play different. I think Baltimore's gonna come with a different energy. They're gonna run the ball, pound the rock. Henry by low will be over. I think he'll have 100 yards and 2 touchdowns or something. I would say this week I'm going to go Indiana, Dart, Caleb. Thank you for the super chat, young man. Thank you for the super chat. This one here from B. Dot. Let me put this right here on screen. I got to go over and help Trucker. Trucker's has been sitting there waiting for the answering here. Trucker, 1 second, my boy. Trucker says 4-3, 10-man PPR. Baker, Love, Hampton, Bucky, White, Tez, Warren. Do I need to trade? Baker, Bucky, White, you're covered there, but then it's like Marks is okay. JSM, Buka, Addison. You could win with this team. What would I move? I'd move the Bucky for, at 4-3, I'd probably move the Bucky for Henry and something. I really think this is going to be, it's a calculated decision. It's very risky. I'm not saying it's risky. It's risky to hold Bucky too, though. It's risky because Bucky's out, then he has a bye week, and then you don't really know. I mean, I like the idea because you got Rachaad White, you might be okay. But that's why I get more. If you send him White and Bucky, you're kind of sending him security. So you say, give me Henry and something. Maybe you send him Addison and he gives you a slightly better receiver and you turn it into a 2-for-2 or essentially a 3-for-2. But that's probably where I'd go with that team. 3 and 4, Dak, May, Brees, Kamara, Dowdle. Buka, I love Buka and Pickens. Bowers, I like that. Fannin, lost neighbors, I'm sorry to hear. Drake, May, Dak. You're trading one of the QBs, assuming this is a 1 QB. You don't say it's super flex, so you say it's 2 flex, but not super flex. So I would trade one of the QBs in a 1 QB league with Brees Hall to upgrade Brees, with Kamara to upgrade Kamara, with Rachaad White to the Bucky owner to get a other running back. Or you go trade for Bucky. Brees for Bucky. Kamara for Bucky, Dowdle, Rachaad White, and Bucky, and then all of a sudden you come back around with a Pittman pick. I'd be fine with that. I'd also trade Brees for Henry, Brees and Pittman for Henry and something. Brees, and I keep Bowers, I keep Pickens, I keep Buka, I keep Dowdle because I think Dowdle's not going to get enough for him anyway, and I like him. So it's really Brees and Kamara for one running back, Brees and Kamara for Henry and a receiver. B. Dot, look at that. That'd be kind of interesting. But Henry is a very good buy. So is James Cook, coming off a bye. Yo, Smitty, QB, Knicks, Mayfield, Bucky, Dobbins, Genty, Jacobs. Okay. Buka, MHJ, Rice. Can we stop ordering these guys? You're showing me your house. You've already heard me yell about this, Grizzly. You're showing me your house. You're trying to sell your house. It's filthy. You haven't cleaned it. The lawn has weeds all over. The grass is this high. You haven't painted it in years. I mean, you're trying to have me evaluate this thing on a $10 super chat, and it's disgustingly out of order and disorganized. I mean, Jacobs is listed last. You've got Rice as your third wide receiver. You spend enough time to put a thumb down emoji next to damn Evans, but you can't put Rice as your number 1 or number 2 wide receiver or spell Buka properly. This is my boy Grizzly Slimes, by the way, that I'm yelling at. You remember Grizzly? Grizzly had the bird. Oh man, as the bird, Grizzly, give me some. Grizzly, give me some damn good news about Sway, your bird. Tell me Sway came home, please. I could use some good news right now, Grizzly. Grizzly, 2 QBs and a tight end. Is this a 2 QB league? What is Slime saying? Minimum position requirements. Got to keep 2 QBs. Okay, so you have to keep 2 QBs. I mean, I would sell one of the QBs to a QB needy team, and they could give you their quarterback back or whatever if that helped you do something. Bucky's easy to trade for Henry if you wanted to go that route. Dobbins. So if you kept Bucky, Genty, and Jacobs, and you traded Dobbins and MHJ, Dobbins and that's really the only thing you can really do. Dobbins and MHJ. I'm keeping Buka. I'm keeping Rice. I'm keeping Jacobs. I'd trade Genty. I'd trade Bucky. I'd trade Bucky and MHJ for Henry and something. Try that, Slime. See if you can get into a slimy situation that way, pal. Little slippery move, you know, into a twofer. Go get Henry and a receiver. You could go get Cook and a receiver too, if that would make some sense. Doing the same thing. Cook coming off a bye. Appreciate you, my boy Slime. Slime, come in as Corrado Soprano said. Come in heavy. You don't come in next time. Okay, bring that team in organized fashion, Slime, please. 1-6, guy with Gibbs, trade him for Buka and ETN. 1-6, guy with Gibbs, trade him for Buka and ETN. If you asked me this question when ETN was going nuts, maybe it would be different. Buka and ETN were going crazy, but bro, we don't know if ETN's even going to be the starter a week from now. So this is absolutely not the trade I'm talking about. You trade him for Buka and something, but it's not going to be ETN. I wish it was, but ETN's no longer that guy. I'm not saying he can't return to that. I'm not saying I'm rooting against him. I'm not saying he's somebody you drop or discard or not go get in the right context, but this is not that player now, pal. This is not that player now, pal. Who to drop and pick up IDP player or go without one this week? I got May, Dowdle, Woody, Buka, Ladd, T-Mac, Tyler Warren. Who do I pick up? IDP is not something we talk about on here because every IDP is so vastly different. I have no clue who's available in your league. I would not even begin, not to mention the starting requirements, the scoring, whether whether the defensive back positions are divided up into cornerback and in safety, and like there's so many things that why I don't even touch IDP. Not to mention I don't even enjoy the content. Not to mention that people don't want it, so I don't produce it. But you'd have to give me a list of players. I can't. There's nothing I can do here. You try to go get Travis Hunter, I suppose. I don't really. You'd have to give me a list, and even then, we could get the chat to even vote on it. But IDP players, I'd have not a clue who's available in your league because of the different depth of position. How many people do people roster? Who to drop for one? Okay. So you just want to drop. I got you. Probably say Bucks D's your starters. You can't drop the Bucks D. BTJ, Harvey, Sharps, Manungai, Gadsden, Pearsall is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I want to drop Pearsall? No. Would I trade him? Yeah, I'd try and trade him real quickly. You know, trade Sharps and Pearsall to the Walker owner and get some sort of piece. That's a doable thing, I think. Trade BTJ and Pearsall to the Hunter owner for something, you know, because you could have BTJ and Hunter and feel good about that. You got Tyler Warren. You trade Gadsden to a tight end needy team. You give him Pearsall and Gadsden for one player, open up a spot. I mean, it's certainly possible, but I don't know that. I don't know that I'm worried that much about dropping. I definitely would drop Pearsall without much of a hesitation. I think trade Kyron for Bowers. I'd rather have Kyron. Bowers isn't even close to Kyron's value right now, bro. Bowers is a 4th or 5th round equivalent player. Not saying that's not a steal. You should be getting Bowers, my boy. But Kyron's a top 15 overall player. What in the hell are you talking about? Thank you for the super chat. No. Answer is no. $20 hauler. $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Apex celebrating 12-month membership. Smitty, you put other content creators to shame on YouTube. Thank you, Apex. That's the kind of comment I like to hear, to be honest. Appreciate you. $20 hauler on this one. Mahomes, JT, Bucky, Rashad, Hendy, Jettas, Rashee Rice, Rome, Ladd, Tyler Warren, Devontae Smith. This is a nice team. Love JT, but smart to trade on injury history. I mean, it depends what you're getting, bro. If you're upgrading, love it. JT Rome for Jahmyr Gibbs in London. I don't even think you could pull that off. If you could pull that off, we would quit our jobs. Don't come work for you. But if you traded JT and Rome for just Jahmyr Gibbs, it's understandable. It is. Is it also understandable to hold? Yeah. But if you got an embarrassment of riches, if you're rolling with Jettas and Rashee Rice, I mean, you basically got a wheelbarrow, bro. The cojones are so big. You're just wheeling them around all over. It gets tiresome. Sometimes you got to lessen the load a little bit. If you're telling me you want to chisel away some and potentially just beef up, I'm fine with that. You know, but if you get Gibbs in London for JT and Rome, we quit our jobs and we come work for you. Do you know what I'm saying? So I love the team, bro. Totally okay with that. You got tons of upside. Also got offered Puka for Jettas and Rome. I think that's also another solid move. It's a lot of talent you're giving this guy. He might very well need it. So it might be a good trade for both of you, but I think you're in a surplus environment, my man. I don't mind trading either one of those. Appreciate you very much. Path with a super chat. Gibbs for Pittman and Nico for my Shiat wide receiver room. Gibbs for Pittman and Nico. Let me ask you a question. If I brought over a Volkswagen Bug that was rusting all over the place, had 3 wheels, no engine, doors didn't work. In fact, it was missing a door entirely. And I tried to give you that. Maybe that and another like piece of junk for your brand new Escalade. What do you think you should do, Pierre? Gibbs is absolute light years ahead of Pittman and Nico. Nico's so far below Gibbs. Gibbs doesn't even know Nico exists to even tell him to go get him a coffee. He doesn't even know Nico's name. He doesn't even know Nico exists to get him a coffee. And you're throwing Pittman in? This is all you're getting? Bro, Gibbs for 2 Nicos doesn't even work. Gibbs for Nico and Pittman, what in the hell's going on here?
You are off for sex. You are made off for sex.
You've just been Smitty disapproved. Get lammed.
Path, I appreciate you super chatting. I'm glad we saved your life tonight. But I don't understand what the hell got over you. But I appreciate you, and you know I appreciate you. And I'm only hard on the topic, not necessarily you. But that was one of the worst things I've ever heard. Judkins for Jonathan Taylor. You got to take JT at this stage of the game, my boy. You know, JT's doing it. He's doing it live every single week. And I'm not saying that Judkins ain't good, but you're talking about trading JT. If you were trading JT away and you were losing with JT, If you're winning with JT, you don't trade him. But if you had JT and you were losing, I know you're acquiring JT, but I'm trying to give you an example of value. If you had JT and you were losing and you couldn't win with JT, and you had to trade JT, you're getting Judkins in London. You're not. What are you switching this one for one? I don't even understand it. Goddard or Gadsden for tight end this week. I'm gonna roll with Gadsden. I'm gonna roll with the hot hand. But you're not wrong to want to get Goddard out there. It happens, bro. All right. Thank you for the super chats. Where's this other one? There's one more super I didn't get to yet. It was Curtis. Curtis, trade away JCM and Pacheco for Chase Brown. I'd take Chase Brown very, very, very easily. Very comfortably. Not saying it's the best trade in the world, but it is certainly the better option here. All right, real quick phone calls. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial into the bentonprint.com phone line. The owners of the attic.shop will be giving away a hoodie. I know I keep saying that we're going to have a contest here. We will. It'll be on Instagram. I'll post it here in the next day or so. Giving away a hoodie, bentonprint.com for all your business needs. bentonprint.com. Trusted source because this is the attic.shop owner and their family here. Not literally, but we treat them like family, and we love Benton Print. We love the Attic.shop. This is a brand that's been with us for years, and I always begged them to come back. I'm like, you guys are a part of the family at this point, and so we brought them back. And if you need business printing needs or anything of the sort, Benton Print has you covered. Go check them out, bentonprint.com. Wayne traded McBride and Hunter for London and Kraft. McBride and Hunter for London and Kraft. Kind of an even, nut kick on each side. You know what I mean? I'd probably say give me London and Kraft by a hair. But that could change, man. If Hunter plays ball, that Hunter side could be better. Chat, vote on that one. London, Kraft, or Travis Hunter McBride. I mean, Travis Hunter could be amazing. You could also crap the bed based on coaching and play calling, though. That's the only thing that concerns me. Is the same thing that London's going through. It's like London's a monster. He's a top 5 wide receiver. He is, but he lives in a not so top 5 world. Goddard, Diggs, and the flex. Probably Diggs, I suppose, this week. I think. $20 hauler from Ron. Ron says 8-point PPR trade. Brees, Puka for Henry and JSN. Oh my God, I'd take Henry and JSN. That's a real. I mean, assuming you need Henry, it's an 8-team league though. This is, I think I take. Look, JSN and Puka are very close. Some might even rather have JSN over Puka. So you're taking Henry over Brees. I like the JSN side. I think it's a really, really good trade. It does suck JSN's in a buy, but Henry's not. And so this is a fantastic trade. I'd do it.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Alert. Super chat alert.
We're getting a lot of McBrides on that vote. The McBride side. Hunter side for me. McBride wins for me. Yeah, everyone's saying the Hunter McBride side. I'm kind of liking that side. The more even people vote on this stuff, it's making me excited about. That wasn't it. Sorry, Mike. That's not an exciting one. You guys think it's not? It's kind of exciting. Where's this trade at? Where is it at? I don't remember where it is, but it was Travis Hunter and McBride versus Kraft and London. Yeah, I'm gonna change my mind. I'm going with you guys. Hunter, let's believe. Let's believe in Hunter. I'm a little worried about play calling, and if Hunter gets three targets with no BTJ, we're gonna lose our minds. This is gonna feel like Vrabel. That's the only thing that worries me. Hunter, let's hope he goes crazy. Yeah, JSN's a monster. JSN. Gee, I wonder where we heard about JSN.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men. Loads dropping and spinning.
Oh, that's where.
In space.
That's where. Gibbs for Henry, Laporta, and Higgins. Gibbs for Henry, Laporta, and Higgins. Path, let me explain an example to you. Let's pretend you had an Escalade, and it was souped up, it was great, and someone had a Volkswagen Bug with 3 wheels, no engine, missing some doors, has a hole in the bottom like someone else described, but they give you 2 of them. 2 of those VWs. Let's make it 3 of those VWs. 3 beat up VWs with no engine. Path. Versus maybe a souped up Ford Bronco, $60,000, $70,000 Bronco, just raised, ready to go off-roading. Top you could take on and off. I mean, Path, what are we talking about? Why do you keep asking? And I appreciate your super chats, but why do you keep asking about how you can get rid of Gibbs for free? Why do you keep asking me to trade? How can I approve you trading away Gibbs for free? Bro, like my wide receiver got cooked. Doesn't matter what your wide receivers got. Doesn't mean you give somebody Gibbs for free. How are you making your situation better? Bro, remember when? Bro, in the past, bro, this happened to me. It doesn't change anything, Path. You can't get rid of Gibbs for free and fix your situation. You're getting rid of your only bargaining chip. Did you see Gadsden's dad benched him in fantasy? It's a shameful thing. Absolute shameful. If you don't know the acronym JSN, then you need more research, my boy. Did somebody really ask who JSN was? Come on, man. Let's see here. Did somebody say that, or are you just saying that in general? I think you're just saying that. All right, Path, appreciate you. Path, I hope you're not mad at me. But you're not getting enough. Gibbs is a world star. He's a world beater. You told me to trade Gibbs because my team is Shiat and send offers out. That's what I'm getting. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're bringing them to me and you're not doing them, Path. I'm not mad at you. When I'm passionately aggressive about a topic, it's not about you. You know you're my boy, Path. I appreciate you dropping supers and you're getting involved. I don't want you to think I'm mad at you, but I'm passionately telling you how much I don't want you to do one of these trades so that you don't say, well, he's kind of like, I don't know, maybe he's wrong and I'll just do it. I don't want you to lose your shirt. You know, right now, let me put it this way, Path. You've lost your shoes and your socks. You're walking around, you know, downtown. Your feet are all dirty. Your belt's about to break, but you got a good pair of slacks on. Your shirt's pretty decent. Your undershirt's good. You know, your hair's combed. You're doing all right. You know, you're definitely hurting. And you're coming to me and saying, Smitty, you told me I need to get a full outfit. So I'm trying to trade my nice slacks, my great shirt for this pair of ripped up pajama pants only. Now you're going to be walking around in ripped up pajama pants with no shirt, no belt, no nothing. And you're telling me the reason you're doing it is because I told you to go get dressed. All right. All right. We'll be back tonight. Appreciate all of you. Live whenever big news breaks. Live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's what this show is right here. We're on the Patreon live 24/7, 365. It's a live chat group, 365. Hit that link. Whoops. I don't know if that went through. All right, hit that link. That's for the Patreon. And don't forget the pinned link right now to get your gunner glasses like I'm wearing right now. Go get you a pair of gunners.
The gunner player of the week.
Blue light blocking glasses, baby. Blue light blocking glasses. Let's switch them out again. These are the Witchers that I've been wearing. There's the yellow tint. I personally like orange amber tint versus the yellow, but you do you. I know a lot of you like that amber yellow. I'm going to put on the Fallout glasses right now. These are all blue light blocking. I'm doing it live. Appreciate you all. See you after. 740, you're calling in a little bit late, bro. All right. Live tonight, midnight Eastern. See you all for the graveyard shift. Get them blue light blockers. They're pinned in the live chat. I'll put the link in the description as well. And save that. Just give me a minute. And refresh, and you should see it there in a bit. See you all for the graveyard show. Don't forget to play underdog. We might draft tonight. We'll at least do some picks tonight. Play 5, get 100 on underdog using this link right here. I'll drop that. So if you want to draft, be prepared. Sign up now using code Smitty. Play 5, get 100. And we'll be doing that soon. So I'll see you all tonight at midnight Eastern. Deuce. Live whenever big news breaks. Live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. And live at 8 p.m. Eastern every single day. Monday through Friday. Like this show right here. Thank you, moderators. Travis, Blackbeard, Space Ricky, Sick Nasty, DeBalt, Vampy. All the boys. Appreciate you.